Oh, baby. I see him in there. Welcome into Derelict Sports. How you guys doing? Happy Monday. Been a while. I haven't seen you since last Wednesday. Told you we were going to be live on Friday and then totally forgot it was Valentine's Day, so that wasn't happening. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Like I said, welcome into Derelict Sports. My name's Nick. You know how it is. My buddy Dale next. You know, the derelict himself, Dale, sitting over there, which is funny. I'm glad you got that hat on because somebody told us, somebody saw our clip about talking about we were talking about Brady. I think it was the Brady Mahomes clip, and somebody commented and was like, "Are all Philadelphia Eagles fans cocky dicks or something?" They're like, "Are all you guys assholes or something like that?" And I was so confused on what he was saying. I'm like, bro. I'm like obviously I like the Eagles, but he doesn't know this. Like from what I'm not wearing any Eagles gear in that clip, like nothing. I'm like, so what is going on? And then it came to me, and he goes, "Oh, well, I thought you were that fucker on the bottom." He goes, "In all Eagles gear," but because you had the hat and the jersey or the hoodie on, and it's all green. And I'm like, bro, you're a fuck. I'm like, wrong again, bitch. I'm like, that is all Saskatchewan Rough Rider gear. I'm like, no Eagles gear in sight. Thank you very much. No. Yes, that was the intro.
First off, hey son, hey Tactic 85. Hope you got home safe. Show mom and dad that what I do on the side. And hi, Franks.
What's up, Franks?
Yes, my parents picked up my son today, so I drove in minus 30 weather to drop my son off so he could go hang out with the grandparents.
Hell yeah, dude. For Family Day.
On Family Day. I got to see my family on Family Day in Canada. Well, I didn't even put that two and two together. That is so bad.
God, that is cute as shit, dude. Family Day. What? You Canadians are so depressed you guys are making up holiday. How long has Family Day been a thing? So you were obviously pre and post Family Day.
So Tayden's turning 12 at the end of the month because all of our front office, you, him, and then me in the first week of March are all wedged in the next 2 weeks. So he's turning 12. It was after he was born, but not very far after he was born. So I would say in the past 10 years, they basically, people were like, well, it's a long time to get to a short work week between Christmas and Easter. So Family Day was created.
It's only a couple months.
Oh, we don't bitch about very much, but our stat holidays, we need our stat holidays off.
We need a fucking Monday off, bitch.
I'm threatening you with the utility knife in my hand, too.
Straight up. You're like, Canadians are nice till you start fucking around with our Family Day, our holidays.
Exactly.
We'll cut you, dude.
I need my Monday off when it's minus 35 outside.
Is it always a Monday?
It's the third Monday of February.
Oh, so they're real cheap on that motherfucker. They're like, we're going to make sure. It's not even a moving holiday on what day it falls on. You are getting a Monday off.
Nope. It could be.
His Green's volume low. Yeah, so he's kind of talking through that thing right now.
Yeah.
So we're going to work on upgrading that shortly.
Yes, we have to upgrade this, but this is much better. So, Prime Minister Day.
Yes, they don't have Prime Minister. They don't even have a Prime Minister right now. That's the problem, right?
We technically, well, he's still an acting Prime Minister, but he has stepped down. So
sitting on his thumb, dude.
And because they have done a non-confidence vote, so the Liberal Party has to get do a quick leadership thing, and then we could have an election in a couple months. So it'll be fun.
I saw Justin Trudeau. He tweeted after Saturday night's game. He was very proud of the country of Canada, dude. Very proud.
We booed the shit out of you guys. I can't wait to hear how bad we get booed on Thursday.
And dude, here's the thing. Okay, so let's get into this. So we're gonna start off here with a little bit of Four Nations, which actually U.S. and Sweden is about to kick off here any minute. I don't know. I got a bunch of I'm actually an addict now, so I'm taking prop bets to an entirely new low. I am there's rock bottom. I've continued. I went and got a fucking a driller, dude, like one of those fucking, what do they call those things?
Like
Jackknives, dude.
yeah.
Jackhammers. I'm going below fucking grounds or fucking, what I say, rock bottom. So it's fucking. But I don't know if USA is going to be out here playing balls to the wall because they're already locked into the finals. I already saw that. Oh, Connor Hellebuck is not playing. They've got the old backup plan. I forget what Ottoman or whatever the fuck his name is, but so hopefully, I'm sure none of those will hit. I actually had great ones today for Canada and Finland. Of course, none of those hit. They're all one off. Whatever. I was going to lead into this. So what we were talking. Oh yeah. So you guys, what a terrible fucking place for you guys. So Saturday night, no matter how terrible things are, like Montreal, like Canada, like you're not going to go into Canada and they're going to like throw shit at you. It's like a contained mad. You know what I mean? It's like we're going to boo you and we're going to do your thing, but it's really not that disrespectful. I mean, it's disrespectful. You're booing our thing, but like, who gives a shit? You're not doing anything over the top. It's always contained. Yeah. You guys now, after not only losing that game, 3 fights to start the game, and
some old-time hockey was started. That was some old-time 1975
dude
hockey right there.
I totally forgot that Big Walt fought Mario Lemieux back in the day.
I know. And then see, you got Claude Lemieux and Keith Kachuk, Chuck the Nucks, and
Claude Lemieux, not Mario Lemieux. Claude Lemieux.
Claude Lemieux. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know why I said Mario. Claude Lemieux. Yeah, so it's like father, like sons, both kids get into a scrap. So not only do you have to endure the loss, and you guys have to lose on home ice in Montreal, you've now got to go to Boston, Massachusetts.
Great.
There are very few play. I mean, you're talking about respect out the fucking window. You're talking about, oh, we're not just booing. They might throw shit. There are going to be slurs used. There are going to be fights probably in that crowd.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be, they couldn't have picked a more low down, dirty dick U.S. city to bring that to Boston, Massachusetts. They might as well have played this motherfucker at Niagara Falls, somewhere like somewhat of a middle ground or something. Boston?
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be fun, but it's gonna be bad. Like at least like Montreal, like you think of. So okay, here's this like you think like that was as electric as GSP coming out for his fights in Montreal. I know for the wrestling people, if you ever want to watch like a crowd just go bananas, watch Sami Zayn enter either the SmackDown before or even during the Elimination Chamber 3 years ago. Yeah, I was still in Toronto 3 years ago. Like it is like that. That crowd is crazy, and they were primed. There was a lot of Molson Canadian flowing that day at 2 p.m. That crowd was primed,
dude.
No little pussy 4% American beer. That was good 5.5% Canadian beer. Let's go, get in there.
Yeah, and dude. So my question for you, as a Canadian, say you had tickets to this game, right? As a Canadian, as a shit talking, but not that shit talking Canadian, would you rather walk into Boston, Massachusetts for this game after, so obviously we won Saturday night, big win on Saturday night, I mean, it's been 9 years, 10 years since we've had international play. So it was how long? I mean, we've had international play, but best on best at international play, it's been a minute. So these guys were scratching to get out there. And there are a lot of things that, I was just talking about the All-Star games today, which we'll get into in a little bit. Like, obviously the NHL All-Star game still isn't great, but when this is what your answer is, like every few years, this is going to be, I mean, this is shitting on everything. This is incredible. These guys this means the world to these guys. Like, this is not just a go out there, collect a check, go out there, play, do something. Like, you saw that Saturday night, obviously 3 fights right off the fucking, right off the tilt. And then, I mean, you saw Connor McDavid, yelling. I mean, like, you saw like the passion from both sides on that team. So, as a Canada guy, if you lost, so would you rather rather be walking into Boston with a ticket to this game after a win like we did? So, like you said, you already know it's going to be nasty in there, right? It's going to be nasty. You're coming in there. We're going to let you know how Saturday went, of course. Especially if we win tonight, we beat Sweden and we walk into that bitch with 0 losses. I mean, the shit talking's flowing. Or would you rather walk in there? Imagine we flipped the roles here, or the way this ended. Imagine 3-1 Canada. You're walking in. United States has a chance to get the game back in Boston. What do you think is going to be more? What would you think is more nasty?
I think losing and then going into Boston and possibly winning.
So you like
all
the
right,
way it is now?
I think it's the way it is now. You can go to the boys and like, all right, well, we lost at home. It's time to go give them their respect. And like they're gonna be booed relentlessly. Like it's gonna be like Brad Marchand is finally gonna get booed in Boston, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah, they're not going to give a fuck about
Oh,
that.
he's gonna rub one of the Kachuk's faces, and they're gonna hate him for a night, and it's gonna be so good. We won't get to see like the 3 fights like that. That shit's over. That was just kind of like,
Oh yeah,
but Canada looks slow in that game at times. Like Connor McDavid, like I think you and me were texting through that whole game. Remember when Connor McDavid scored? I think I typed it in all caps. Do not let him go through the neutral zone untouched, because only bad things will happen.
yeah, it's automatic. And look at him today. I mean, today he scores with 2 minutes in. And it's going to be a different story, like you said, coming into that next one. I mean, 3-1 in this one, but now the guys are. I think they're woken up. I think that loss to the United States, obviously, that's a big one. And then, like I said today, like I just felt when I saw that 1.5 line today for Canada, Finland, I'm like, there's no way they're not covering. Like, they are going to come into this. Like, Finland is basically just going to pay for Saturday night, and that's exactly what they did. They got fucking bent over, and you had McDavid and Nate McKinnon, who are like, if you're Team Canada, you can't pick 2 better guys probably. I mean, you could pick whoever to pair with McDavid. You go Crosby. Obviously there's a few other guys on there. They're all bad motherfuckers on that team, but you go with, you got McKinnon and McDavid buzzing. You're good to go for the most part. 2 goals today, Nate McKinnon. I mean, so I think it might be a little. I know it's just an open netter, but Sidney Crosby had no shots on goals through the first first 2 games in this first 2 games of this tournament. No shots on goal. So I think the open netter today, I think he had an assist today, I believe, as well. I'll pull up the box score here in a minute, but I'm pretty sure he had a goal and assist today. That's the type of game that'll wake somebody up like that. So I think that Canada, you're looking at a really good Thursday game. I think that Thursday's game is good. Like you said, nobody's gonna be dropping the gloves, none of that grimy shit. Like, that was we've been waiting 10 years to do this. It's been 10 years. Let's fucking do this shit. Let's get this out of the way. Let's give everybody what they want. And then you boot our anthem, blah, blah, blah. Let's get out of here. I think Thursday you're going to see skill. I think you're going to see a lot of, Connor McDavid, I said it today in that little video I was breaking down the game today. He said before today's game that this was Game 7. This was Canada's Game 7. And again, that just shows you how much this means to these guys. And I think that they're going to come into this game on Thursday like, let's fucking roll. So it's going to be good. I'm really, really excited for Thursday.
And we make fun of what the NHL does. The NHL does some stupid shit. Like, don't get me wrong. But, the first night back of the NBA or Canada USA, yeah, we could wait to watch like the Lakers and Portland play or whatever games are on Thursday night. It's gonna be so much. And like I'm like I'm a casual. The NHL, the regular season bores me. NHL playoffs probably are the best playoffs because it's every day for 3 months, and it is a fucking grind for those. The team that wins the Stanley Cup, it is a monstrous grind. And
Yeah, no, I've always said I do think the Stanley Cup is the hardest one to win. I agree. I think it is the hardest championship to win.
well, you think of like the NBA, how they stretch out the first round. The first round takes like 21 days to play 7 games.
Yeah,
It's
it for
so,
sure.
and it's like everything else. It's like all the travel, and then let's throw a triple overtime game in there, and it's just like like you always hear the stories of like I love baseball, that, but the guy has, and there's a reason why a guy has to take 2 or 3 weeks off when he has a blister on his finger. Like there's a reason why, because he can't control his fastball. But then you hear about some guy like, oh, Peter Forsberg was playing with a ruptured spleen for a little while, and the doctors finally said, no, we can't put you out there anymore. Or he was playing with a hairline fractured his leg. No big deal. Just fucking the guy's got a high ankle sprain. Just somebody put my boot on for me and tie it up, and I'll get out there.
Yeah,
Like
we'll
there
worry
is,
about it. We'll worry about getting ice on it the moment we take this boot off to make sure I
it's
can get the boot back on.
it's
Oh, I
a
have to just wear the boot for 3 days. I can't take it off. Sure,
sure. Take the blade off for me, a trainer, and I'll just walk around on my boot.
just walk around with a fucking boot on, dude.
It's like it's almost a sick kind of pride they take in like being like who could be more hurt and more of a it's like it's crazy when you get to like the third round of the playoffs and you've got the beards and you just know guys are hurt. Like game one is always where it's like everybody tries to set the tone, and then after that it's like, all right, we need to save our energy. We'll pick and choose when we need to have a little scrum at the end. Oh, you're gonna touch our goalie? Oh, but then it's just like, yeah, it's a war of attrition, the NHL playoffs, and that's what makes it interesting. And since we're on here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're gonna have some Cavs going on in May and June. I'm sure we will be watching some NHL playoffs mixed in there. It's gonna be good times.
Yeah, and it'll be nice. Damn, your microphone is very loud, bruh.
Yours
Can't
or
tell if
mine?
that he's talking about
Mine.
me. He's probably talking about. Is he making a little joke about how shitty your mic is, probably?
Yeah.
Or talking about mine. Mine might be really loud too. Who knows? But yeah, dude, it's gonna, dude. I cannot wait for this game. Like you said, it's gonna be. There's gonna be a lot of pride on the line here, and I really think that, like, especially this being mid-year. I mean, like these guys have to go back to their teams and stuff. I mean, especially Connor. Like, think about Connor McDavid. Think about the situation he was just in last year. Like losing in the playoffs again. Like losing the way he did. Like Connor McDavid is probably taking this so goddamn seriously. Like he is probably like, I can't lose another one of these big moments. Like we have to go in there and get this. And but you got to be thinking, like you said before we got on here, like Jordan Binnington. You got to be thinking that's kind of a scary issue. I mean, that can't feel very good about him. I would say that's the only real like weakness that you guys have is Jordan Binnington.
We went from either arguing over Martin Brodeur or Patrick Waugh to Roberto Luongo to Carey Price to Jordan Binghamton or Hill for Vegas. Like it's like, and you just get the and like I am I am a, as we know, I'm a claw or not a clause. I'm a sort of NHL fan, but I am a Jets fan. They took the Jets away to Arizona in '96, so I am a Jets fan. And Connor Hellebuck, you're gonna have the Cavs run. I hope I get a Winnipeg Jets run, and we can have both of these dreams on the stream. I am so
Yeah,
jealous of
dude,
those.
Connor Hellebuck he's the best goalie on planet Earth. I mean, he
Not
is
even It's
fuck.
not even close. Like it's like Connor Hellebuck, and then there is a full peg before you start going to the next one. He is 1A and 1B, and then we go to 2.
Dude, he's so fucking nasty. Yeah, he is. He's disgusting. So obviously you got advantage USA on that one, but really other than that, like this is not really much advantage on either side going in this. I mean, I think I saw Let's see what I think I saw the money line on this was. It's not.
Like I'm gonna guess like US like minus 125 and the Canada plus 105, something like that. Yeah, this game's basically a coin flip.
Running from the CIA. So we got USA minus 1.5 money line. USA minus 120. Canada plus 100. So that earlier they were both minus. Like right after the game, there was no favorite. It was basically a pick me.
Yeah. So yeah, it makes sense that Canada's probably a tiny dog just because of
Game one.
yeah, and the states are gonna have they're at home plus they're gonna have last change, so they do have the advantage. So that makes sense.
So what do you think? I mean, Jordan Bennington, you got to be thinking. So were you the one that were you saying something that going into this, people weren't very confident in Jordan Bennington, right? That's how
No,
they were pretty not feeling good about that.
yes, it was Canada was very. It was like we have the best player in the world, the best player in the world for the past decade, and we're deep everywhere else. But goaltending is. I feel like Canadians thought we could not score our way out of the problems, but like that Olympic team that won in 2014, like it was so good, and all Carey Price had to do was make 5 big saves during the game, and then you knew that everything else was going to be shut down. And even in the big time games, they would find a way to win 3-1 when it got tight.
Jordan Bennington's the complete opposite, where he might stand on his head, or I mean, and honestly, he hasn't had a lot of work in any of the game. I mean, obviously Canada USA, there's a lot decent amount of work in there, but like today it was like it seemed like he was basically like so today it felt like he didn't see any shots at all game or like any work, and then as soon as the work come fourth or third period, he fell apart. I mean, what do you have? So he faced 26 shots, 3 goals allowed. So 23 saves on 26 shots, 885 save percentage. Not good. I mean, it's not what you're looking for a guy that is starting for your national hockey team. But and who's the backup?
Hill from I want to say Aaron Hill. I can't remember his first name. Aaron Hill's a baseball player, but Hill from Vegas is the backup. If this was the Olympics and they had like a 4-game round robin, Hill would be going in guaranteed. But how do you tell him who has not played a game in over a week to come in cold against the best players in the world, and oh by the way, go win us the championship game?
Yeah, so yeah, for sure. I mean that's a tough ask. By the way, USA just scored. Chris Kreider just scored. So 1-0 USA on Sweden. Yeah, Jake Ottinger is the other guy. That's the backup for USA, and they're playing him today. I mean, they said I don't know. I mean, Chris Kreider, Jack Eichel Jack Eichel had the assistant, so maybe they do play a lot of their. But I think that in this game, I would assume we're going to see a lot of the lower lines. Like I doubt we're going to see heavy minutes from a lot of these big guys. Like I mean these. Obviously, you want to go into Thursday undefeated. That would feel good, right? But at the same time, boy, would you feel dumb as shit if well, I guess Austin Matthews hasn't done dick, but one of the other Tkachuk, because you already got Matthew Tkachuk's already out today. I don't think they ever even said what happened to Matthew Tkachuk. Saturday, he just took himself out of the game and then just sat at the end of the bench, which it was weird. They had this weird thing. The guy commenting was like, he should just go back to the locker room. It's like, bro, this guy obviously just wants to sit here and support the fucking squad, like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was PK Subban that said that. Like, of course. Shut up, PK. Shut up, PK. You like PK as a Canadian?
No, he has such a punchable face. Like
Why? Because he's black?
No.
I
knew that was going to be what you were going to say. No, he does.
He is a cocksucker.
he doesn't fit the hockey mold, which is kind of a bad thing to say because hockey needs more personnel. Like
100%. You need a PK Subban.
it's just maybe PK is you can make the argument. I will put it back onto you, Burt, being an American. You want to punch Jeremy Roenick in the face, and Jeremy Roenick has a personality. It might not be a good personality, but Jeremy Roenick
Yeah, for
has
sure.
it's, and I think that's the what's the way to word it? Like hockey needs personality, but they don't know how to get a good personality. Like Biz Nasty. Biz Nasty is good for the game. I think he's
Dude,
got
how
good.
many people can get into a bar fight with like 10 guys and like they celebrate it?
Oh, Biz
Like they
Nasty.
were like happy that he got into that fight and like fought off all those guys. They're like, dude, like promoting it. They're like, dude, this, yeah, fucking Paul Bissonnette, dude. Yeah, this guy just beat up like 5 guys.
Oh, good old Biz Nasty. But yeah, no, I think it's like that's the because like the NBA knows how like that's the difference. The NBA knows how to market their stars, and the NHL does to a degree, but between LeBron James and Connor McDavid, at least LeBron James has somewhat of a personality. Seth Curry has somewhat. It's not a great, but he's not going to give like the we're going to take it one shift at a time, one game at a time. We just we're down 3 games to 1. All we can do is win tonight. Like I know NBA guys give the same generic fucking canned answers too, but it just feels like they have more flair. They have a little more personality. Like Cindy Crosby is just like I can almost do a Cindy Crosby interview for you. Well, like what do you think of the game, Sydney? The Americans played really well. We just we couldn't get it going, and we got to get ready for Finland on Monday.
It's, I mean, like I said, you definitely need those kind of guys, though. I mean, he is an obnoxious guy, but he was damn good at what he did. I always forgot that he was like he played for a decent amount of teams there at the end, didn't he? He was like a New Jersey Devil.
Yeah,
He was a Predator, Nashville Predator.
yeah, that's where he went last. Yeah, 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 yeah.
He was a Canadian to start, right? Montreal to start, and then he went.
Yeah, did he go to New Jersey? I thought, is there somewhere we're missing? No, I think it was only the three.
Hold on.
Ooh. Oh, what did we figure out? Bealo, I love your show. Super good pastime in Algeria.
Oh, they
I don't.
better.
Yay! Yeah. Okay. You don't sound.
Why
You
did
were a little
I
echoey.
sound like shit?
Well, you found it a little echo, but I always sound like shit. So I thought it was partially. I don't fucking know. You didn't sound that bad. I don't know.
Damn.
I'm too Canadian.
Damn, it's all right. But yeah, so you're welcome. Yeah, thanks, Cold Peppers, my real Algerian love, my real Algerian boyfriend. He comes on here and makes sure a boyfriend look good on TV. They gather dining hall to watch boyfriend on TV, and I sound echo.
Isn't that? Is that how that works?
Thanks, Cold Peppers. But yeah, who else he play for? So I got $30 parlay on Venezuela. Let's fucking go, dude.
Oh, that's outstanding.
Well, we're back now. I mean, 30 minutes in, we fixed it. So hopefully, no wonder that's what that guy was saying.
Oh, okay.
I was,
Whatever.
Dale, if I ever sound a little awkward, dude, don't feel like you can't tell me, dude. Just be like, hey, Nick, you fucking suck.
Coming from the guy who like sounded like he had a fucking pigeon, or a carrier pigeon to talk for a while.
Unreal. $30 parlay on Venezuela. For football, you got Venezuelan football. Is that what we're betting on?
Nah, we need some Venezuelan baseball. Should be Dominican Winter League championships coming up soon.
No shit. So I was gonna bring this up. I thought maybe they'd have a little more on here, but no, they're not. So plus 105. So it's even gone up a little bit. Money line, at least on ESPN bets. Still
Nice.
1.5. Thought maybe we would see something neat here, but we're not. But yeah, dude. So today, I mean, like I said, Canada, Finland today, man. That was a good game. If anybody watched that, that was pretty brutal for Finland. Finland, I think their only win of the tournament was the overtime win against Sweden. Which, I mean, that's here are the current. Okay, so here are the standings. So you got USA, obviously USA. Oh, 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 oh.
Yupums.
6 points, baby. Let's fucking go. So it's 3 points for a regulation win. I don't know. 2 points for a fucking I don't know. So Canada's got 5 points. So they're one behind us. It's really gonna suck if Canada, like USA. It's gonna sting big time for USA if they win tonight to get to. I mean, how does that work? I mean, I guess points don't matter in the championship game. I was gonna say, man, imagine going to the finals with 9 points to 5, and then losing the finals. That would just be. That'd be real. Then again, I guess the NBA, the 8 seed gets pretty fucked nowadays too. I mean, that many times they gotta play like 14 games to keep the 8 seed. They're like, all right, dude, you want the 8 seed? I want you to beat everybody from like last place up until the second wild card team in a row on one day. You want to keep you.
It was funny that I got to listen to CBS Sports for a little bit on the sports radio station on the drive down.
You got to, or did you chose to?
No, so the sports station out of Calgary picks up CBS Sports some of the time, but normally
it's funny
just
when you're like got to, like somebody came and they're like, Dale, it's your turn for CBS. You're up.
You got
You got 5 minutes for CBS.
So anyway, because of Family Day and they took the day off because Americans don't care. So I got to listen to some CBS Sports. Now, what was I gonna? You made me forget my whole train of thought. Oh yeah, I figured it back out. It's like the play-in tournament for the NBA. It's like the West is 4 good teams and Phoenix trying to get in. Like the play-in is gonna be like Dallas, Golden State, Sacramento, and somebody else. And then the East, it's all 4 teams are from the 8 seed down or all under 500. It's like who's gonna get massacred by Golden State or by Boston and Cleveland?
Yeah, it's just brutal. Which we're gonna get into some basketball here too, because I do want to talk about Draymond Green. He was wilding this weekend, talking about they're winning a championship and shit. So we'll talk about that. But yeah, that 8 seed really, you get fucked. I mean, and that's hopefully the USA doesn't let that happen on Thursday. But man, Finland. The only win they get this whole tournament is that Sweden overtime win, which I sent you that stat, which Sweden hasn't won in fucking an overtime game in international play since like Pangea, dude. Like
It's crazy.
There weren't 7 continents when the last time Sweden won a game in fucking. I mean, it's unreal. Like if you get to Sweden, like Sweden in regulation, you got a fight in your hand. You get to overtime. Chalk it up as a loss, baby.
They fall cheaper than the IKEA furniture they create. Haha.
Football. No, not football. It's a bet on that carnival game where you throw ball at stack of cups. Let's fucking go. So what's the bet, though? Over, under cups? Or do you got sets? Because I assume it's sets into legs. I assume it's best of 3 sets turns into a leg? Or would it be legs turn into sets?
You're getting into darts when you're starting to talk like that.
Yeah. Is it sets or is it legs turn into sets, right? Or no, sets turn into legs.
Sets turn into legs, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Did you like the ladies' darts? Well, I know we're taking a hard laugh for 2 seconds, but I'm going to ask you anyways.
Dude, I liked female darts besides the fact that they literally fucking they rented out a fucking half of a back room. And they're like, do you guys need anything? Water? They're like, no, not in the budget. We don't need. No, they're not thirsty. They're just gonna throw some darts for a few hours. I mean, them girls were in a photo booth throwing darts.
It's like they put up the yaki or however you say that in the board, and it's like we'll put a table at the back so you can put your case of darts on there, and we're just gonna have a dude that has a little electronic score. And he's like 140.
140. Yeah, no crowd whatsoever. Just fucking.
Well, you have 82 left to score.
Yeah, it was definitely different. I don't know. They need to get some people in there. They need to get the booze flowing or something. But then again, they can't even get these people to stop whistling. Next thing you know, they're gonna go throw the dart, bitch. You know, they're gonna, hey, bitch, throw the dart.
It's like darts people are like the most belligerent. It's like people that like are below European soccer fans, but it's not by much. Or maybe darts is a hair above European
Yeah.
soccer fans.
You know what's below both of them? Boston, Massachusetts, where you guys are playing on
I
Thursday.
can't wait.
That's
I
fucking
can't
rough,
wait.
boys.
Oh,
Boston, Massachusetts. My God, I was gonna clip that earlier, talking about like where you'd rather go. You know, like Jesus Christ, but you know, since I was yelling into the abyss. So Frank says on Cherokee Street, a Jamaican, a Venezuelan, and Mexican family need 3 of the 5 Venez to get at least half cups. Yeah, I'm telling you, the Carnival Cup Meltdown going to be the new golf. And they chuck beers onto the field. Yeah, I mean that does sound pretty good. So how many cups? Did you say how many cups? Damn, that sucks, dude. Because Cherokee Street, they're trying to clean Cherokee Street up. Now we got gambling going on Cherokee Street. Fuck,
what a bunch.
unreal. But all right, so Finland, Sweden. So I guess before we get off of hockey here, I'm trying to find. I got all these tabs open. The stack of 10.
Ooh, that's a good stack.
So it's still 1-0 United States. So we'll see if who's going to end, because if Sweden doesn't, I guess if Sweden right now, if Sweden loses this game, Finland and Sweden will both end with 2 points. But it depends. Well, I guess it depends on if Sweden loses in
regulation.
Regulate, because don't they get a point for losses? Yeah. So if they lose in regulation to United States right now, they will finish dead last because of the loss to Finland, you know, the tiebreaker. So Sweden, who I thought for sure had a great team, which they do, all these teams are actually really great. Sweden had the best jerseys, I thought, and they're going to come in here and just shit the fucking bed. Finland, who, man, they came out of Finland was they hung in there. I mean,
They were the fourth place team in this thing, and they needed a lot of things to go right to get to the final. They didn't embarrass them. Like, yeah, the U.S. fucking boot stomped them, and Canada kind of did for a while, but they weren't. They didn't embarrass themselves. They are probably like the fourth best hockey nation.
So when they do this again, because I know you said that, they're going to start alternating this with the Olympics, in 2026 or whatever. It's a loophole. Yeah. We're gambling in Trump coin. Yeah, of course you are, dude. I did see that right before everyone's doing a coin. I saw fucking Dave Portnoy from Barstool. They got like a jail coin or something. And then I saw that about an hour ago, old Adam22 from No Jumper said he's going to launch a meme coin. These are fucking ridiculous. But that just threw me the fuck off too, honestly. Oh yeah, so is it gonna be the same nations every time?
So they're gonna do it like a World Cup, so they're gonna have 8 teams. So it'll be those 4, assuming Russia is done by that point in time. And then the Czechs, and then my guess is the Slovaks, and then they'll have like a Switzerland, Latvia, they'll Germany, they'll find an 8th team. And then they'll just do like 2 pools of 4, like they tried to do it that one time, and then they had like the young stars, all the kids under 23, which was outstanding. But yeah, I think that'll be the plan. And then it's kind of like it's their perfect world, right? You get best on best every 2 years, and then you figure out the fucking all-star game the other year. So you get an all-star game every other year.
Now I'm sidetracked trying to figure out I don't know what it is actually. I know that I don't know. It's on Solana. I know that. I know that CoffeeZilla's already all over his ass. So if you go to Twitter, CoffeeZilla and Adam22 are already going at it. So that should be pretty good. All right.
Good job, Frogs.
So what do you think? It's Thursday. Give me a prediction. Come Thursday, obviously like I said, you already got the loss, but I think you guys are woken up. I think you guys are back. What do you guys think? You think you got a chance on Thursday? And what do you think you're going to come
It's
back and win on Thursday?
it's a coin flip ish game. Um, I don't want it to go to 3-on-3 10-minute overtime, but it would be the perfect way to end it. Just like free or to quote Steve Cooley is free flowing hockey.
I'm not going to lie. I can't believe that there's a time where I always feel like Canada was the faster team, and now I feel like it passed, and now United States are just, dude, they are buzzing with speed.
Canada has the fastest guy, but the States has the faster team.
Dude, I mean, and in this year, it's just no question. They are so much faster. You get to 3-on-3, boy, they're gonna be skating. Dude, Jordan Bennington's fucking head's gonna spin.
Yes, absolutely. So no, it's gonna be.
I want to see somebody piss Jordan Bennington off. That's what I want to see, because
that
it'll happen. Like I
that
want him to like
dude
go
has a
down
fucking
2-0 in the first period or something. Somebody slides into him on accident.
what? How does the song go for out for a rip? Oh, in Canada, we learn when you were born, you learn to cross check properly. And then you go out for a rip, are you, bud? Go out for a rip, fucking rates. That is literally the most Canadian thing I could probably say.
That was pretty fucking. That was pretty Canadian. 39 minutes ago, they just interviewed Brady Kachuk. It's also funny. Somebody today put out a tweet that said, "How does Matthew Kachuk look like a GQ model, and Brady looks like he popped out of a jar and asked you what your 3 wishes are?" And I thought that was so fucking funny, because it is so funny, because Brady Kachuk is one is one ugly motherfucker, dude.
It's so good. It's so right.
It's so funny because, dude,
So
Matthew Kachuk
true.
is a good looking guy.
Yeah, it's like, oh wow, that's a
Brady
good.
Brady Kachuk's got like a 6 head, dude. It is a big bitch. But they just interviewed him on Face Off before the game started, and he says that somebody called him. Wait, who called him? Somebody called him lunatics. Well,
Oh, oh, did he freeze? Oh shit.
yeah, so Kachuk, Keith calls the Kachuk brothers lunatics, which means that I don't know what that means, but they're talking about St. Louis and them being from St. Louis, and so they're saying they need to bring him home. I really thought that which one just signed the deal? Was it Brady that was just a free agent recently? He's the one that's in Florida now, right?
Yeah, he signed the extent. Or was it? Oh, I can't remember which. Both
I
of
think
them
it was
signed.
Brady. I think
Think
Brady
it
was the
was
one that they
Brady.
thought could come to St. Louis, and he ended up not. He ended up going to
Staying in Florida.
staying in Florida. But God, I would love to have those fucking kids in St. Louis. Those kids are so fucking badass. I love those dudes. I mean, seeing them dap up in the penalty box after they had planned to fight, and then like they both fared pretty goddamn well in their fights. Like, come on.
That was some good old time hockey. That was like Tatum doesn't watch much hockey, and he's like, "Why are they fighting?" I'm like, "Buddy, this is just great. Just let it be. I'll explain this
Sit back and
afterwards."
shut the fuck
Yeah.
up.
So it's like, why are they fighting? It's like they're trying to set the tone. Well, why are they doing that? I'm like, oh fuck, it's a hockey thing, man. I don't need to get into.
This
the
isn't
tone.
about hockey anymore, kid. This is fucking nations putting tariffs on each other and a world battle taking place on hockey ice.
It's like,
Are leg kicks allowed? Shit, I wish, dude. That'd be fucking wild.
God, it's the last thing we can do.
He says, "Wow, Dale, didn't know your son was gay." By the way,
I like the
Gustav
love.
Nyquist just tied it up. So 5 minutes left in the first. Sweden, USA 1-1.
Nice.
Um,
No, it's gonna be fun. I think you like we're both picking our countries, but I think we both think that this game is. I wouldn't be shocked if the States won 4-2. You wouldn't be shocked if Canada won 4-2. Nobody's winning this game 7-1. This is going to be a close game that's going to go down to the wire, and it's probably going to be the team that's ahead's going to win with an empty netter, or we're going to get a lot of 3-on-3 hockey, and it's going to be amazing to watch.
Let's fucking go, boys. I am stoked for this game.
We should almost do a Thursday stream. We almost should
maybe
put our
we might have to. We might have to do that. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what goes on. I don't know if you and me. Oh, there'll be so much fucking shit talking going on. It'll be great.
Yeah, I am. It's gonna be good. Like I said, I said this earlier today. Four Nations, they hit a fucking home run with this. I mean, and for this to happen in such a time where like all the other major sports and their All-Star games are coming under criticism. Like, obviously, last night we had the NBA All-Star game and the All-Star weekend this weekend, which was terrible. And this is like, what a better, what a better spot to have this. I mean, like, it's like while basketball is like shitting themselves on the biggest stage or second biggest stage, obviously the playoffs are bigger, but like all the world's watching for All-Star weekend, and it's just an awful product that you're watching. And then, or you could flip over and watch Canada, United States, or like, these Four Nation games. And they have just been, every game has been good. Even the blowouts have been like entertaining games. I mean, they have been, hard hitting. There's been fights. I mean, like this hasn't been like usually get to the playoffs or you get to the international play and there might be a little bit of like, they're maybe foot off the gas might be the wrong way to put it, but like, nobody's out there trying to kill each other. They're out there trying to kill each other. Like this is that hit that Kachuk put on Drew Doughty the other night on Saturday was a fuck you hit is what that was. That was and Drew Doughty's a fucking dick anyway. So love that. There is a classic clip which I can't play. When does Afghanistan play? They actually funny story. They were on their way here, and I don't know. They took out a plane over DC or something. I don't know. So I don't know. The Afghan team never made it. But anyway, Drew. There's a clip of Drew Doughty from years ago, back when the Kings were in that little window, right, where they were the big dicks for a while. Nobody could score on Jonathan Quick. Drew Doughty, Anze Kopitar, Dustin Brown, those boys back, those guys. There's a clip of what's his face was still a Blue. I just had his name. The kid from St. Louis. I went to fucking high school with him. Pat Maroon. So Pat Maroon was still a Blue, right? And there's a clip of Drew Doughty being like they're chirping on the ice, and Drew Doughty's like, Pat, you suck at hockey. He's like, you've been playing hockey for how long and you're still a fourth liner? He's like, Pat, stop talking. Like, when it comes down to it, you suck at hockey. Like, and this is back when Drew Doughty was like the best defenseman or one of the best defensemen in the game. Pat Maroon hadn't really made a name for himself. He was just like a fucking fourth liner that didn't score any goals. And then he goes off and, fast forward, he rips off like 3 goddamn Stanley Cups in a row. So, LOL at Drew Doughty, and Pat Maroon definitely got the last laugh there. But, yeah, anytime I think of Drew Doughty, I always think of him tapping on Pat Maroon and being like, hey, buddy, you suck at hockey. Like, damn.
How it happens.
All right, well, let's get into NBA. So let's get into this weekend. So, like I said a second ago, terrible fucking product. I don't know if anybody watched the NBA this weekend. I did watch on and off during the weekend. I watched the skills because the Cavs were in it, which they did win. Let's fucking go. Cavs won the skills competition. And I don't know if anybody saw that piss poor ass shit that Wemby and Chris Paul did, where like they weren't worried about. Did you see it?
Yeah, I seen it on Twitter.
And then they got disqualified or whatever, and it's like just such a Chris Paul move. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I asked Pat about you. You said you were a nerd in a virgin high school. Yeah, dude, he probably did. It's pretty. I was a freshman, so he probably did. He's probably, who is this pussy? It's funny. Pat Maroon, my freshman year of high school, when nobody had beaten CBC in like years, and then we beat them. This is high school, and like I remember they plastered the Oakville high school, like Oakville hockey. Like the senior hallway was wallpapered in the newspaper of us beating CBC. But yeah, he probably did book check me once or twice. It's all right though.
You probably deserved it.
It's all right. But yeah, Pat Maroon, he still comes to St. Louis too. There's still a fucking there's like a sports bar that he goes in. But he was a kid in high school that used to be that he was the stereotypical, yeah, I don't need to listen to any of this because I'm going to the NHL, you know. And he's like, when it comes to NHL players, he is like bottom tier, mid tier. You know, he like worked his way out of the. He's like not a goon. He plays hockey, he scores and does his thing, but he's not really like. There's not much there. You know what I mean? Like he's a middle of the road player. So it was always funny that like, he's like, yeah, fuck you, I'm going. He is the absolute picture perfect example of the guy that would act like that. But all right, so like I said, I watched the Cavs. Cavs won the skills competition. I did watch a little bit of the I did watch the 3-point competition because Darius Garland was in it. I didn't sit down and like watch it. I was watching it in passing. As soon as he did make it to the final round, which is pretty cool. He was in second place. He put up like 24 in the first round, which is cool because I was like, damn, dude, the Cavs are showing out. Kenny Atkinson was one of the All-Star coaches, obviously, you know, because he's best record in the NBA. So he got to coach one of the teams. So that was cool. Just pretty cool to see the Cavs kind of all over All-Star weekend. But other than that, it was ass. I don't think there's much they can do to the skills part of it. I think that's probably it. You know, I mean, you're going to do the skills speed test. You're going to do 3-point competitions. There's really not you can do that. But like the dunk competition, that shit is, Matt McClung three-peats it, the white boy, who, like I said, it's funny. Every year the memes come up where like they have to like wake him up out of the ice every year just to come out and do this because like, where is he between now and fucking next dunk contest?
Wherever Orlando's G League team is based.
Right. So it's like he's just kind of hanging out, ready, waiting for somebody to go, hey, Mac, you're up. So, maybe they definitely need to fix that. That was ass. He wins 3 in a row. A lot of people think Stephon Castle should have won. I think Stephon Castle should have won. All dunks, no props. I know props have always kind of been a thing, but nowadays, like when we're running out of ideas, props are kind of like you need them. Are they people think they need them? Stephon Castle didn't use any props, just nasty dunks. But Mac just got 50s every single time. And it was just kind of like, I mean, we had Barry Bonds out there doing judging. It's like, who the fuck are these people? I love Barry Bonds, but, what does he know about slam dunking? So, I don't know. But I assume you didn't watch any of this at all?
Just seeing some highlights, I'm very indifferent to All-Star. Like, if we come to the point where we don't, like, give the boys a week off, do I really need to see an All-Star game? No. I'm not watching the NHL one. I'm not watching, like, the skills used to be, like when Vince Carter, I know I used that because that was like 25, like, that was much watch TV. But we've done everything they fucking can.
Done everything you can. I mean, Stephon Castle was doing neat shit, but, like, there were no props there. Like I said, I don't know. I think it's just such a gimmick now. And yeah, guy jumps over a fucking Kia, and I don't know. Like don't get me wrong, Matt McClung, white Jesus, baby. I mean, we are on a generational run right now for whites. I mean, Cooper DeJean, fucking United States, fucking, the Kachuk boys.
I was gonna say the Kachuk brothers.
The Kachuk brothers. Now we got Mac McClung three-peating during Black History Month at the dunk contest. I mean, right now we are just on an absolute generational run. But I don't think it should have came to an end on Saturday. Mac shouldn't have won the dunk contest. It's just not fun. It's not a fun thing to watch. And then we got to Sunday, okay? And we're going to get into the other All-Star game because I think that this needs to be looked at as like a big picture type thing. Like, how do you fix All-Star games? We'll get into the other ones because I do think that there are better ones than others. None of them are great, but Sunday, so they introduced a new one this year where it's they've taken away, completely got rid of the East versus West. There is no East versus West anymore. It is just the Inside the NBA guys plus Candace Parker drafting teams, putting them against each other in mini games to 40, first to 40 games. And basically, I don't even know what they got. I don't know if the winning team, I think they just got a trophy. I don't know if they got money. I don't know if they got anything. Like, I don't think there was any incentive for these guys to play besides I think it's funny that like they get like Adam Silver has these meetings where he's like, I think you guys, I would like to see some effort out of you guys. Adam, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. Like, do you think that they're gonna come away from that going, well, guys, we gotta fucking try in the All-Star game? Nobody gives a shit. So that's what we got. Zero defense. Don't get me wrong. Once the score got to 30, because it was best of 40. Once it got to 30, there was a little effort. Guys started playing defense. Blah blah blah. But that last night was I mean, Victor Wembanyama was the only one that took it seriously. He looked pissed the entire time. Like it's like he went out there and like the moment he realized that like he was the only one doing it, like trying or doing anything, like it's like you could see like when they lost, he like threw his hands up, like he was not happy the entire. I think he was probably a little turned off by it. Like, oh, this is how the Americans do this shit. Like they don't give a fuck about anything. But that had to have been the worst one. As far as format, as far as everything, there was so much Kevin Hart. You didn't watch any last night?
Didn't watch a second of it.
Dude, I wish I could. I wish I was you. Like, I wish I could. Like, my FOMO, my fear of missing out, is like I have to turn into shit like that, and I don't even like watching it. But like, I just felt like I had to, so I turned it on. Just awful the entire fucking time. I think I saw them do the math where there was like, it was like a 4-hour broadcast, right? 3-4 hour broadcast. I think they said there was like 36 minutes of basketball played or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It was like 36. It was like a half hour, or it was like a half-hour pregame show, like a 10-minute intro. They played 36 minutes of games. They had like a 10-minute tribute, and then the rest was just dead fucking air. There was like one concert supposedly, like, or somebody played, and that was it.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Of course, I can't find the fucking break, but yeah, it's the breakdown. But yeah, it is. This was. Hang on, All-Star time breakdown. Here we go. So. The All-Star game was 3 hours and 30 minutes. The All-Star game, like, presentation, the basketball minutes, that 30 minutes and 27 seconds.
That's nuts.
Commercials, there was 1 hour and 58 minutes worth of commercials yesterday.
Jesus.
37 minutes worth of music. Did Steph deserve MVP? Probably not. I do think it's funny that Jason Tatum had like a way better not better stat line, but they had the same amount of points, but Steph took like 3 times as many shots, and they were like, and that there's like that running joke now of like Jason Tatum getting fucked in the, him not playing in the Olympics and whatever, and like, there's like this agenda against Jason Tatum, and last night Steph Curry gets MVP of the All-Star game, because so Shaq's team ended up winning. Shaq built all old heads. He took the older squad, and then LeBron backs out 2 hours for the game, which was ridiculous. But Steph Curry gets Steph Curry's hitting half court shots. I mean, he's hitting pretty circus shots, but he gets MVP, and Jason Tatum had like, I think he was like 7 of 9, 21 points or something, and he didn't get it. So it's funny that people are pissed that Steph Curry got it, but it is what it is. Just terrible fucking games. That last game, nobody was trying. Like, they're out here doing fucking nutmegs. It's the same shit. Like there was just zero attempt at.
Because at least like way back in the day, like they jacked around for 3 quarters, and then Michael is like, "Okay, time to play." Like,
Yeah,
boys,
Kobe, same way. I mean, like,
yeah, exactly. It's like it's all right. We had our fun. It's time to buckle. It's a 6-point game with 8 minutes left. Time to buckle down, boys. It's time to play some ball.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was just not a fun weekend to watch. I mean, the last night, Kevin Hart, 2 hours of Shaq being dumb. Yeah, it was so fucking dumb. Shaq, and then they had like this big going away presentation for the inside the NBA guys, and like even though they're all going to ESPN, like it was like a Turner Sports thing. It was like a funeral almost. Like it was so weird. Like middle of the finals game, they take a break and it's like a 40-minute break. They like do like the presentation to the all of and TNT gives these guys like start loading up the TNT inside the NBA guys with like expensive gifts and shit like that. Like Shaq can buy anything in the world that he wants. Okay, Shaq is richer than everyone in that building, and we're taking a 35-minute break to give Shaq gifts. Like I don't give a fuck about Shaq and his gifts. Like I love Shaq to death, but like, bro, let's get to this basketball game, please. Like that is why we were watching this. So that was terrible. Kevin Hart was just embarrassingly bad last night. Like he's not funny, you know. I mean, he was just bombing so bad last night. People were like, the players were mad that this was going on. Like they were like yelling for them to get off the court, which is crazy. They had Mr. Beast. Some kid came up last night. Did you see the kid hit that half court? Let's fucking go for that kid. I forget his name was like Jaron or something. Let's fucking go to that kid. So happy for that kid. That kid gets up there. Mr. Beast, which I've not really followed Mr. Beast. I know Franks watches the show and he's got the show and everybody loves him and gives away all that money. But anytime I've ever seen Mr. Beast give away money, and props to him, he gives away a lot of money, and I'm sure it's all tax write-off, and I'm sure it's whatever. But for a guy that gives away that money, he always looks mad when it comes time to like giving away the money. You know what I mean? Like it's always like he's there and he's doing it, but he hates when the people like complete the challenge to actually get the money. Like last night, that kid, every time, the competition was he had to make one half-court shot before Damian Lillard hit 3 half-court shots, right? And he wins $10,000, I think is what it was. Or maybe it was $100,000. I don't know. Maybe it was $100,000. I think it was $100,000. They start shooting one after another, right? So he would shoot, and then they go, oh, he missed. All right, Dame, you go, right? Well, every time the kid would go to shoot, Mr. Beast would be like, well, hold on. Well, think about it. Think about it. Take your time. Take your time. Make sure this one goes in. Make sure. So then he would miss, and then it came down to, obviously, he hadn't hit one yet. Dame's drained 2 of them, and you could tell that Damian Lillard is, like, not trying. Like, he wants this kid to win. He could have drained those 3 fucking shots, probably in 4 shots. Give him one that he misses. Probably could have, whatever. Well, it gets down to it, and now every time this guy shoots, he's going, well, you better not miss. This might be your last time. You might not get another chance. You're going against the best shooter in the world. And at one point, Damian Lillard's like, hey, like telling him to shut up. Like, stop that. Like, your purpose, I know what you're trying to do here. You're trying to psych this kid out, and you're waiting for him to shoot, to talk, and like you're trying to get him to fuck up because you don't want him to win this $100,000, clearly. So he starts boxing Mr. Beast out on TV, which is crazy. In his own competition, he's like, dude, this guy needs to shut the fuck up. Then out of nowhere, like I just said, this whole time he's trying to get this guy to take his time, and they're making him take turns. Out of nowhere, commercial break's coming up, right? This commercial break. So he goes, oh, we got to get a commercial break. 30 seconds. You got to go. You got to go. He's like telling this guy, he's like, you got to hurry, dude. Why are you wasting so much time? And it's like, dude, that was the whole fucking point 2 minutes ago, was to take his time and line up the shot. That kid, you see Damian is this point selling. I mean, he is not trying to hit it. That kid on the last shot drains that shot. At one point, he stops the whole competition, and he's like telling it, Shaq, what are you guys? All you guys come out here and give him some shooting foul or tips. Shoot, come on. And it was like none of this was planned. It was almost like they were all like, what? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what? So he forces all of them to come out to start hyping this kid up. But then they start buying in because they realize how much of a dick Mr. Beast is being. So by the time, like, I think Shaq at one point tells the kid before the thing, like, I'm going to give you this money regardless. Like, I'll give you the 100,000 whether you hit this or not. Kid drains that shot. Them boys went nuts. That kid's ball sack grew a good two inches last night in girth.
I seen the shot that he hit it, and then like I didn't know what the whole lead up to it, but I just seen like the boys just were like jumping up. But that makes it even better now.
It was so sick. That kid was like, yeah, my family could really use this. Now I don't know if that's true or not because they are at All-Star weekend, but then again, he looked kind of like a little Hoosier kid that doesn't have a lot. So maybe this is one of those instances where like this kid's dad or like family, like they saved up money to get this kid to go. Like it was one of those real things where they saved and budgeted and they gave a lot to get to this. It's like they wanted their kid to go enjoy this. But this kid was like, yeah, I'm like, it looked like they needed it. And it was so fucking cool to see that kid hit that. I was so happy that kid hit that shot. I was going nuts. The whole time. I was like, Shan, why is Mr. Beast being such a dick? I'm like, fuck this guy. I'm like, why is he fucking this kid up? I'm like, he's not going to hit it. I'm like, Mr. Beast is spoiling this. He's fucking sabotaging this kid. He hit that shot, bro. I was fucking hooting and hollering around this fucking house. I was, woo! It was so sick, dude. I think his name was Jaren, bro. Shout out to Jaren. And fuck Mr. Beast, dude, because that guy sucks.
Agree.
He really did not want to give that kid the money, and that sucks. By the way, Sweden, Jesper Bratt just scored. William Nylander with the fucking assist. So 2-1 into first, Sweden.
Fair enough. It's all good.
I don't know where Frank's at. Frank's is a big beast guy. Oh, look, NBA comes back on my birthday, boys. February 19th, Lakers Hornets.
Yay. Oh, that game. Who would have thunk after the fire that game would have a little extra spice to it?
Yeah, no shit, huh? Those people, I wonder if Mark Williams is going to play. Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know if he's back. I don't even know. That's such a crazy situation. We do get the front office's birthday tomorrow. I don't know if he's going to be here or not. Usually I text him. Today I did not. So he'll probably just drop in at some point, or he won't. We'll have to just wait and see. Doesn't matter. We don't have any fucking viewers or anything today, dude. Nobody cares about Derelict Sports right now yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. So anyway, last night it was Shaq's OGs versus Kenny's Young Stars, and then Candace had the Rising Stars, and then they did that thing where they added the Rising Stars to the Sunday game, which pissed a lot of people off. I think Draymond was, hooting and hollering over it. They don't deserve it, blah, blah, blah. Like, it takes away from the specialness of it if you let these Rising Stars play on Sunday. And, I had to work all those years to, just poor me, Draymond shit. You know how Draymond is. Then he starts talking about, we're going to, Jimmy Butler. Every time since we've got Jimmy Butler, we walk into games thinking we're going to win. We feel unstoppable. And then he doubles down and says, we're going to win the championship this year, which is so funny because, like, he will more than likely not have much to do with that if they win a championship. Like, he's writing checks that Jimmy Butler and Stephen Curry's ass have to go cash, which is funny. But then he says, this is the best part. He says he's already been offered the Golden State head coach job after he retires.
You don't think Steve Kerr's going to stay there as long as he wants?
You think that front office sat Draymond Green down and they're like, look, we're starting to have second thoughts about Steve. Not enough to get rid of him now. We're going to let him ride it out, but we think you should be the guy that takes over for him.
That is a special kind of delusional.
So that's what he said. I'll see if I can find the quote. But yeah, he straight up looked into the camera last night and said he was offered.
To say it with a straight face.
He says, I've already been offered. It says at one point, so it says Draymond Green is not playing in this year's All-Star Game tournament. I'll just pull up this. So it says he's not playing in this year's All-Star tournament. Though he did partake in Saturday's skill competition, he was in attendance for Sunday's All-Star Game while serving as an analyst. He made an eye-opening statement about his future in basketball. At one point on the TNT broadcast, Candace Parker, I do love Candace Parker, I think she's great, was discussing the prospect of her becoming a coach in the future, to which she said there's no way she would do it. She could do it. So Candace Parker, not going to see her coaching, which is sad because I do think Candace Parker's got a great mind for basketball. And I just like watching her on TV. I think she was it's hard to fit a female into that inside TNT situation, just four dominant male guys, but also like, you really have to like be able to kind of go with the flow there because you never know. It's serious sometimes. They're joking. You never know what you're going to get on. So for Candace Parker, she is just so seamlessly fit into that. So I love Candace Parker, but it says she could never do it compared to the possibility of Green coaching in the NBA. Green's response raised some eyebrows as he jokingly claimed that he'd already been offered. Okay, so it says, I've already been offered the Golden State Warriors head coaching job when I'm done. You think I'm going to suck? When asked if he thinks he make a good coach, says, I think I could be a good coach. I don't want to be. So who knows? Maybe he was.
There's no way that I could coach ever in the history of ever. It'd be like Draymond coaching. Like there's.
Wow, you can't coach. What does that mean?
I've
already been offered to go to State Warriors head coaching job.
I didn't say that you couldn't be. I didn't think you would suck. I just don't think that you would enjoy it. You would not be able to coach. Your patience, our patience is.
So who knows? Who knows? You think Draymond Green be a good coach?
Think he would.
I do too.
Under Tom, like he learned under Tom, he played under Tom Izzo at Michigan State. You know, like there's parts that definitely. I think in X's and O's he would be a really good assistant coach. That's what he would be. Like, you know, guy in the timeout, drawing up the play, getting the stuff. But Draymond Green having to do post-game press conferences all the time. Oh, good Lord, that would be awful.
Yeah, I agree.
Once or twice a year. You think, you know, like when Pop used to get really pissed off, like once or twice a year would just be totally dry with the media. That would be like a weekly occurrence with Draymond Green.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I definitely agree on that. I think he does have an amazing basketball mind. I think that guy, he is all. I have said it since the championship that the Cleveland Cavaliers won against them. He is one of those guys that I hated him forever, and over time you kind of start to once you start to kind of understand Draymond, I definitely have started to like him a little more. Like, don't get me wrong, I think he's done some really skeet shit on the court, all those dirty groin kicks, like all that shit was no room for that shit. But 20 years ago, nobody was saying anything about it. Yeah, 20 years ago, he'd have fit right in, and which again, that right, that is no excuse. Like that's just not the way the game is played nowadays. So it is not, so you got it. You can blame him for shit like that, but like you listen to him talk, and you listen to him kind of like he can do everything in basketball. I mean, he's been that guy that, like, obviously he's not like the greatest 3-point shooter or anything like that, and but he'll hit threes. He is the glue that held those championship teams together as far as just like the back defensively, the grit. I mean, that guy has played a big role, I think, on that team. So, and I just think that, and a lot of people give, the podcast people shit and all that, and, these players, which I think, can be a distraction sometimes. I do think that, Micah Parsons, I think he kind of takes it a little too far. Like, I think you could tell Micah Parsons is just ready to get the game over sometimes to go do this podcast. So sometimes, but Draymond Green, like when he talks, like he says a lot of insightful shit. And I do think that, if he was able to, maybe not, like you said, maybe not be the guy that is going out and facing the media and doing all this shit, but a guy that can stand there and during timeouts, he's the one talking, he's yelling, he's hyping the guys up, he's doing this, that, I definitely think Draymond I think he'd be a fun coach.
I think if you could like sit him down and explain to him that part of it, and like, this is what you can and can't do, he would be fine. I think he would be a perfect assistant coach. Guy that doesn't need the spotlight, still want, like, I think players would really gravitate to him because just like that great, like you said, he wasn't the glory guy, but he was the guy that made sure that the Splash Brothers, like, they need a stop or that ball's on the ground, he's fucking flying in there with reckless abandon. Like, he was the guy that was willing to do all the dirty shit while the other two guys just jacked threes and did really well. Obviously, that's a very simplistic idea, but
right.
That's
but
exactly
for sure,
what he did.
Yeah, and even more so when Kevin was there. It was like, look, you three guys just score and do everything. I will just make sure that, like, nobody fucks with us, and that, I 50-50 balls, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I mean, I definitely think that, and he, and he's had the Jordan Poole moment and stuff, but I just think that all these moments are things that I don't think Draymond is the kind of guy that flies off the hand. Like, I think all of those are calculated. Like, I don't think he flew off the handle and just like, he just lost a temper and punched Jordan Poole. Like, I think he's the kind of guy that, like, he knows what he's doing when he does these things.
Yeah. He's like, pulling it back to hockey. He's the guy that knows when he has to go out and get into a fight. And, he might get his ass beat in, but he knows that that's what his team needs in that moment to get the spark to get things going.
Yeah, no, I agree. We'll bring in the front office here. What's up, front office?
Hey, front office. Maybe he doesn't want to be here.
Hi, sweet boy. I thought I don't hear front office, but I do hear crying, and I look down, and it's my sweet boy Odie.
Odie?
Says, Dad, what are you doing?
Odie.
But yeah, I agree. So I definitely think that I would like to see Draymond. I don't think he's going to get that job, but I do think it'd be cool. Maybe he does go back and maybe goes coach in Michigan. That'd be pretty cool, huh?
That's what I was just thinking. He would be.
There he is.
He would be really good in Michigan State because Tom Izzo has to retire soon. He would be really good in Michigan State.
Dude, going back and learning under Tom Izzo type thing, and then if Tom Izzo thought he was ready, give him the Michigan job. Dude, what do you think, front office? Hello, can you hear us now?
Yes. Well, I've been able to hear you. You haven't been able to hear me.
Okay. Well, hello.
Hello.
And happy birthday, Eve.
Happy birthday, Eve, sir.
I said I didn't text you earlier because I didn't know if you were going to be out doing anything. I was just going to see if you showed up today. I knew you knew we'd be here, but I didn't know if you would be.
Yo, damn right. 7 to 9, Monday and Wednesday, baby.
Let's fucking go, bitches.
So yeah, Chattanooga, Tennessee today.
No, but I have been to Chattanooga.
God, I'm gonna find another place that you haven't been. That's my new.
I think you had one last week. I don't remember what it was though.
Billings, Montana.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That's our game. Nick just rolls his eyes when I.
I'm about it, dude.
Place.
Where is the front office? I know where he is because he's different places, but he's not as many different places as you think.
Yeah, well,
he goes to a lot of places, but he's stationary for like Windows.
But when he like really travels, he's all over.
So I know where his ass is right now.
100%.
Like I can picture the chair. I can picture the exact way he's sitting right now.
Crisscross applesauce?
Pants on or off?
Hot.
Thank you.
Off, dude. There's that little sauna growing between the leather on the chair and the triangle of your gooch, dude.
Ooh, damn. I appreciate you thinking that I can afford a leather chair.
It's not leather
I appreciate that. Fuck no. Fuck, this is that
leather chair.
Mesh bullshit.
So
I wish it was leather.
Maybe I can't picture shit.
No, I mean, you definitely are right.
I actually have no idea what he's doing. I swore it was a nice chair.
So what are you asking me about?
Well, we were talking. Well, we spent a lot of time on. We spent most of the first part on Four Nations, but now we are on the All-Star game. We've been on the All-Star game for a few minutes now, but we were talking about. So yesterday, Draymond Green made that comment about being offered the Golden State head coaching job after he was retired. Now, obviously, we were talking about how that probably isn't real, and that is probably just a dumbass thing you were saying on TV. But we were saying that when it comes down to it, we both think that Draymond Green would be a good basketball coach. Now, maybe not right away the kind of guy that is head coach where he goes out and has to do interviews and do all of these things and facing the media and doing head coach things. But if he was the guy that when you called timeouts, he had the clipboard, he was, hyping the guys up, doing the assistant coach things, and then maybe even like turned in, formed over the time. I think he's got a great basketball mind, and I think he would be, because he says he couldn't do it. He could be a good one, but he doesn't want to do it. And I agree with him. I think that we both were saying that we think Draymond Green would actually be a good basketball coach.
I think Draymond, straight up, like I think personality-wise is where it would be his downfall. I think there's a chance that he rubs some of his players the wrong way, and you get a locker room that all believes in what he's saying.
follows, in suit with the game plan night in, night out, totally cool. I think if things are working right, I think he could be great. When things go wrong, I think the hothead could show, and I think that might be detrimental. But I think I'm with you guys. Could he do it? Probably. Obviously, he said he doesn't want to do it, but I
we were
don't think
talking
it's
about the
gonna happen.
hothead thing too. So we also both agree that obviously he's done a lot of stupid shit in his career, things that you can't fucking things that you have to dock him for. I mean, obviously, but I don't think he's ever. I think that's always been calculated. Like, I don't know if he actually is that much of a hothead. Like, I don't think he is the kind of guy that gets pissed off and loses his cool. I think he is just a shit disturber. Like, I think that he knows what he's doing. Like, I think all of those groin kicks, I think he was looking to stir shit up. I think punching Jordan Poole, like, I don't think he was just standing there and then Jordan Poole just made him so mad that he raged up and hit him. Like, I think that was something that built. I think something that he probably thought about before he did. And I just think that he is that kind of guy. I just think he likes chaos, and I think he is just he knows how to create it. And I could be wrong. He could just be a fucking loose cannon that is kicking people in the cock on the court, punching teammates and shit like that. But I just think that he when you hear him talk, he seems like such a. And obviously, if he was that much of a loose cannon, I think there would have been problems in those years with Golden State. But I just think he does what is required of him. I think he knows what his role is, and I think he just leans into it as hard as he possibly can. And I think if he wanted to, he could step off of that, but maybe not. What do you think?
I think it would be interesting to see at the very least. Like I would like to see him play.
He just jacks one of his players in the face.
Dude, you know what I mean? He just
PJ
you see a clip of him, full face screaming, veins popping out. You know what I mean?
Like Trent
calling this dude
Dilfer
trash
to his players on the court on the side where he's just like fucking, he's like shaking them. He's like, "What do you fucking mean? What do you mean you couldn't find a
Trent? You can't do that, Trent."
This is not circa 1996 anymore.
But yeah, I think it'd be cool. Like, so I mean, imagine he went back to Michigan, because a Tom Izzo guy. I mean, Tom Izzo loved him. He's a great, well regarded in Michigan. I mean, man, imagine him just going back and like taking an assistant coach role under Tom Izzo until he.
I'm telling you, that wouldn't be the worst. Like, one of the top 10 basketball minds that's alive right now, like in the coaching fraternity, to work under and just do that. And like Tom being like, "Hey, no, you can't fucking do that."
I was gonna say, if there's anybody that's gonna look at Draymond Green and be like, "Hey, Draymond, shut the fuck up," it's gonna be
Izzo's that guy.
Tom Izzo. Yeah,
Tom Izzo's probably one of the few guys that he probably has more respect for Tom Izzo than he does Steve Kerr.
I was literally just about to say, I think if Steve Kerr and Tom Izzo both told him to shut, like if Tom Izzo told him to shut the fuck up and Steve Kerr told him to keep talking, I think he'd shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly believe that.
Tom Izzo is a bad boy, and I hate Michigan
100%.
more than anybody, but what a bad boy he is. What were you gonna say, front office?
Oh, I was gonna say 100%. I was just in agreement with you, sir.
Draymond Green, the head coach, dude. Let's fucking go. Let's bring Bron back. Let's bring Bron back and let's get Draymond on the bench, dude.
If that's what Kenny thinks will help us, I'm gonna believe him.
Kenny said, "Look, I'm about to offer Draymond something he can't turn down. We're gonna get his dumb ass off the court, put him in a role, or put him in a, you know what? Speaking of that, it throws me off every time I see fucking Nene or Damari Carroll on our bench. I always forget Damari Carroll's a coach now, and he has been on Kenny Atkinson's squad. So every time I see Damari Carroll, I saw Damari Carroll throwing balls to DeAndre Hunter on his first practice, and I'm like, holy fuck! What a cool guy to have on your bench, just like as like a third or fourth coach, 20-year vet Damari Carroll. I mean, like, let's fucking go.
No doubt.
But that it'd be cool to I think that'd be pretty cool. So before we move on, because I want to talk about all the All-Star games, like, and what we can do to like maybe make them a little bit better. But so, did you watch any of it? Obviously, you weren't here for any of the talk, but real quick, did you watch anything this weekend Did you watch any of last night's front office? Like, did you happen to catch anything that happened over the weekend? As
So
far as
I did have the All-Star games on last night, but I wasn't following too closely. I felt like the first couple were good. The ones with like the younger players, I felt, I mean, they're playing, you know what I mean? But I think as the night went on, it actually got worse, which I think was probably not the way that they intended that to go.
probably not.
You know what I mean? Like, if I had to guess, they're
They
like,
quit
okay, the
giving a
rookies will
fuck
set
14
the tone.
minutes in.
Dude, straight up, man. And like that's like, and the young players were playing, the first game or whatever. Like that was okay, but yeah.
Well,
By
they were
the time
saying
we
a
got
lot
to
of the players were saying it was all the breaks. It was just like the mid-game, like 30-minute breaks of Kevin Hart doing comedy, and like, it was just like they just wanted to play basketball, and it's like they keep breaking these games up, and it's like I think we were looking before you got here, like there was 30 and a half minutes of basketball played last night. It was a 3.5 hour broadcast. So it's like,
damn.
There was an hour and 58 minutes worth of commercials yesterday. Like,
holy crap! Really, like the actual count?
Like they broke down. There was like, it was like 100 and like, or an hour and like 50 something minutes. I think it was 58 minutes. Almost 2 hours worth of commercials. There was like 40 minutes worth of like, Kevin Hart talking like in the middle. Like Shaq Chuck talks. There was the Mr. Beast shot. Like there was like, but total out of 3 and almost 4 hours, there was 30 minutes of, not even 31 minutes of basketball played on that entire broadcast yesterday.
Oh my God.
So to me, I think that, I think that if I'm a player, I think that would be, I mean, you can't expect those guys. Of course they're going to quit playing or giving a shit, because like this all could have been done, 2 hours ago, but they're standing here watching Shaq. I thought it was funny. Like, they at one point during the final game, they took like a 30-minute break to say goodbye to TNT and to say goodbye to all of the Inside the NBA guys, which I don't know if you've read, but they've pretty much all signed contracts with ESPN and they're not going anywhere. So they're all like, Shaq, who again is the richest guy in that room. They're like standing Shaq and Kenny and Ernie at midcourt, and they're showering them with gifts, like expensive gifts. It's like, if Shaq wanted I think it was like fishing gear. I think they got a boat or something. I'm like, bro, if Shaq wanted a boat, he could buy one. I'm sure he's got a boat. I'm just like, are we really stopping basketball to gift Shaq gifts? These guys are richer than fuck. Kevin Hart is richer and shit. So it wasn't good. And then, so it's just a lot of stopping. But even then, I mean, the basketball was not very good. I mean, it was, like you said, the first couple, because you and I were texting and we're like, yeah, this isn't the best. I mean, it's better. They had to do something, because it was so dog shit in the past that you can't fault them for trying something new. And we're like, yeah, this isn't bad. Could be worse. Not the greatest. 30 minutes later, we're like, yeah, this fucking sucks. This is fucking terrible. Like, this is not fun at all. But yeah, I just didn't know if you had seen, how little of basketball played last night. I mean, and it just seemed like, so did you watch, you see Steph Curry? I've said Steph Curry MVP.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, it's just depressing to have it turn out like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think at first, at the start of the night, I think we were texting back and forth, I was like intrigued, like, oh, this could be good. Like, at least they had an idea or whatever. And then it just went substantially downhill, like as time went on. I did see Steph getting the MVP. That was, I mean, cool, I guess. I don't feel one way or the other about that.
Did you feel any certain way about Bron sitting out 20, like not telling everybody he's not going to play until 2 hours? Like, do you feel he might have stolen somebody's spot?
Okay. Yes.
If
you're going to show up, or if you're going to be there, you need to play. You know what I'm saying? Or at least don't say till the very last minute, like, hey, by the way, I'm not actually going to play.
You're telling me you didn't know your ankle hurt until 5 p.m.?
Ain't nobody buying that one, motherfucker.
like, and then what really got me, and look, you boys know, I mean, it hurts. We are brawny to the death here. We're brawn. So it pains me to say this, but they took that photo of the Shaq's team, the old guys together, and they're all in uniform, and he is the only one out of uniform. He's standing there in street clothes in the middle, like his street clothes. It's like you couldn't just put on a fucking basketball fucking outfit for the picture. You know what I'm saying? Like it just
Right.
see if I can find it. It's
At least
really
act like you're gonna play.
It's so skeet, dude. Like, hold on, let's see if I find the picture. It is. You're looking at this picture and you're just like, the picture's like ruined, basically. Hold on.
You know what else is ruined?
What?
Stephen F. Austin won. They won by 2.
Not 3. I was just gonna say they were. Yeah, I see it.
They had to cover 3.5.
Oh no. Oh no.
Scrolling down. Well, at least the under that I bet is in very good under shape. All right. Yeah. Those guys all look like they're really happy to be there too.
Like, you're telling me Bron just couldn't throw on the uniform for 10 minutes for this picture?
Not buying it.
That looks retarded.
Yeah, dude. Like, even if you're not playing, at least look like you
like,
knew what
these
you
guys
needed
are
to
probably
wear.
like, LeBron, be for real. You know what I mean? Like, be for real right now. Like, you can't just go slide on shorts and a jersey real quick.
Exactly.
My guy's in a fucking. Here we go. Let's see what this one is. Yeah, same thing. But yeah, I just think that that was kind of annoying. I'm like, Brian, you fucker, dude. Like, but yeah, I don't know. So what? Obviously, overall, not good. The All-Star weekend was not good. They need to go back to East versus West or something. I think a lot of players, they felt Wembanyama was pissed. You could tell he was like pissed that people weren't trying, which is cool. It's cool to see that he cares. I thought it was cool that he was like, yeah, I'm not here to make friends, so I'm here to dominate. So he didn't give a fuck about any of that. But the players were, they didn't really like it. I think I saw that, they're talking about doing a one-on-one after today because I think they asked Kyrie Irving brought up after the thing last night, and then they had asked him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'd definitely be for that." Little one. I don't know if anybody saw what Steph Curry did to. I think it was Wemby last night, or Kyrie did to Wemby last night, but they asked him. They're like, "Are players just nervous, like scared to be like embarrassed?" He's like, "No, I just think that, it was almost like Kyrie was like almost being like." He didn't want to say,
good guy, for sure.
Motherfuckers don't want to play me one-on-one. That's for damn sure. See if I can find this crossover. But yeah, I mean that. So what do you guys think? Like, if there was, we'll start with the NBA All-Star Game, but like, what do you think? If you were in charge of fixing we'll start with, like I said, the NBA. What would you do to fix the NBA All-Star Game? We'll start. Obviously, Dale is ready to go.
I'm raising my hand. Just to
go ahead.
Preface that they actually fucking try, which is the biggest problem.
But how do you do that though? How do you make guys try in the All-Star Game?
Sponsors got to chuck out a fucking stupid hunk of change is probably what the answer is to make these guys try. And even then, I don't think that is. If you're a millionaire, is an extra $2 million on the pile really worth it? I don't know. Anyways, why don't you have a World versus USA game?
Well, that's kind of what I've heard they're saying. It's like more like an international, like one-on-one type. Yeah, I think it would be something like that. I think it has to be.
Like, I don't think you can quite do countries because, like, Jokic is from Serbia and SGA's from Canada, and
it would have to be USA versus international.
Yeah. So I think that
absolutely.
I don't think it's the long-term answer, but I think if they played the old All-Star Game idea of have fun for 3 quarters and then play hard for the 4th quarter, that would be fun. I get that they're always going to do fucking stupid alley oops and all that. Yay! But
would you be in favor of? So I saw this on Twitter, both of these on Twitter today. So one guy obviously says, and I think it was maybe SJ. Somebody said last night, maybe giving the winner each player on the winning team $1 million. But like these guys are already so like I don't know like that. So maybe, but like I don't think that we should be paying these guys even more to try in an all-star. Like you guys should just fucking like you guys are already making all the money in the world. Like you guys could at least give us a little bit of I don't think we should. But somebody also said maybe you dock late round draft picks from these like from the teams that like like say you go on there like Wemby or somebody or not Wemby but like say these guys are whatever team they're representing, but then again that would be hard to do I guess. But like what is there a punishment or an incentive that you think that you could add to these that would maybe get these guys because that really is the thing here. It's not about format's one thing. I think we all want to see, I think we all kind of missed the even like okay, so even hockey, they got rid of the Eastern Western conferences. Is it Eastern Western in hockey?
Yep.
It's Eastern Western, and now it's 4 mini teams, but it's the divisions. It's or whatever. Like each division has a team, so there's still some more like there's still a sense of unity there, or sense of like you're playing for your division. I think, last night they took away that completely, and it's more or less like anybody. It doesn't matter who you're on. Like, the Cavs, I think I saw Mobley was saying, like, it was cool that I got to guard Don, and Don got to guard me, and I got to play with Darius, but it really would have been cool if we all 3 could have played together, like that type of thing. Like, it's our first All-Star game. It would have been great to play together type of thing. So I think we all kind of miss the East versus West, but is there anything that, because that's the problem though, is the player, if you could just get the players to try, you could format and all those other things, I think could be covered up a little bit if you just had a good game. And I think you have to find an incentive to get these guys to go out there and play. And like, what is that? Do you think, do you think there is a dock or like a punishment or an incentive that you could give these guys money wise to go out and play that comes to mind?
If they don't try, what do you do, right? That's the hardest part. Like, we can think of every wing-ding idea in the sun, but if guys don't give a shit, guys don't give a shit. Go ahead, front office. I'll pose a question afterwards. Go ahead.
Truthfully, the best All-Star game that I've ever seen was done in baseball when it determined home field advantage for the championship. Yes, that has its own set of issues. There is no doubt about it. 100% that has its own problems. But that was clearly something that they played for hard, and it took it took a lot of effort from the players to show up to those games and play and actually play hard, especially against the best of the best.
Did you see our clip from today?
No.
That is the clip from today. It's me asking if that is what we should do, is if we should go back to the MLB.
We are mind melded, baby.
Because that was what I said. I said, obviously you want, there's the side. Everyone agrees that it makes sense that the best team in the league or the best team in the playoffs or whoever the number 1 seed is, you want them to have home field advantage. That just makes sense. I get that. But at the same time, we didn't have these issues in the All-Star games. If we really care about All-Star games that much, if we can't just get rid of them and we're dead set on keeping them, we didn't have those problems when you told them, yeah, you better go in there and play that fucking game, because if you win the All-Star game and you happen to get to the World Series, you've already got your home field advantage locked down. I think that is, I know a lot of people hate it, but I'm like that. There is few better incentives than that.
No, and immediately those players play and they are invested, and it means something. It does have its own set of issues, though. If one conference is so much better than the other, it's a foregone conclusion, and that's kind of how baseball was there at the end with the AL, NL, especially with the DH situation. I think basketball could do it. Maybe you only make it to where it's like that game 7. You know what I'm saying? It only matters where game 7's played. Instead of home field advantage or whatever. Well, I guess it still would be. Then yeah, never mind. Because you're going to get 3-3. You know what I'm saying? But like you would still start out. What is it? 2-3-2, right?
Yeah, or maybe don't even make it the finals. Make it like first round of the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you get
Sure. Yeah.
first
Yeah.
round of the playoffs. So, like if we don't want to go all the way to giving it back to
it has to be it has to be the final because that's when the conferences would play each other.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, you're right.
But I mean, there is some way to work out there that you could make it actually meaningful.
Can I pose the question that nobody wants to pose?
Yes.
Do we need all-star games anymore?
No. Oh, that's what I was saying. If we're dead set on keeping them, then maybe we have to do something like that. But
yeah, well, it's exactly. You got to either go to the extreme to make everybody buy in, or just be like, everybody, hey, guess what, LeBron, you fucking deserve a week in Cancun. Everybody go 1, 2, 3 Cancun. Have some fun. Have 10 days off. Be ready to come back Thursday.
yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, like, do people care enough about All-Star games to go that, like you said, if you have to do something crazy like that, and do people care enough to go that crazy, or can we just? Because I'm with you. I mean, do we even need them? Because I'm with you. We don't. I don't think we do. Football is a joke. Football is not even a game anymore. It's just literally a skills competition that nobody tunes in for. You've got the NHL, who, again, I think the NHL probably has the best one right now as far as divisions, and it's 2 10-minute periods, 3-on-3. That's kind of cool, mini tournament style. Baseball still isn't bad. I still think baseball, obviously it's not super super competitive, but you still see, teams want to win the MLB All-Star game still, and I still think that I think they maybe have, but like if they just decided that we are just going to we'll mention the best players. Like we'll do a thing like, we'll tell you who the best players for the first half of the season are. We'll give them some type of bonus, or they'll get something, but like, do we really need to gather everybody in Indianapolis, a butthole city in Missouri, in the United States to do this bullshit anymore? Because maybe not. I don't think we do. I mean, basketball, we could have done without that. We could have done without, but like I said, and all of them really. I mean, really, if none of them are, you wouldn't miss any of them. Nobody even watches hockey, even though it's a good one. No one watches the hockey. Nobody watches hockey to begin with. I mean, like as far as viewership wise, when you talk about big sports, and hockey's my favorite, but it's the little brother. So,
well, I'll put it to you this way: the Canada States game was the most viewed non-Stanley Cup final game in the States, and it was something like 10+ years.
Yeah, and that was crazy. Like, the NHL is killing it right now. Like I said earlier, what a time to do this Four Nations thing. Like the NBA is just putting on the worst All-Star game ever. The NBA is already dying as it is. Adam Silver is under so much pressure right now. It's just, no people are tuning out of basketball, and then you throw on you put the best of the best in the world against each other, US, Canada. I mean, you can't fucking beat that in February. I mean, these games, there hasn't been a bad Four Nations game yet. They're just, and obviously this isn't the yearly thing, so this really isn't like much of a fix for the All-Star game. This is more of a, they got lucky this year. This fell on, this was their All-Star. So, and they will do this, like, what'd you say? So they won't do it between now and 2026, but then they'll do it in 2026.
So 2026 is the Olympics. So I think they're doing an All-Star game to send the players off to the Olympics, and then 2028,
right, every other year.
World Cup. So yeah, it'll be all, like right now it'll be All-Star game, World Cup, All-Star game, Olympics.
Right.
So
So still going to be some shitty games in there, but it's like they have, international play except for basketball. That might be the way to do it. If you're wanting to keep these things around, it might just have to be USA versus, because that really does seem to get people pretty fucking hyped. You put USA and Canada in there. I mean, you would have thought that was first.
No doubt.
I mean, Saturday was bigger than a Stanley Cup. I mean, you had those guys. You had the Kachuk boys. Brady, who just won a Stanley Cup, is like, this is the biggest game I've ever played in. It's like,
and you had Canadians that don't normally chuck the Nucks that are like, okay, well, let's go.
Let's fucking go. I mean, you had Connor McDavid looking like he was going to kill somebody on Saturday. And, like, you don't see that type of, like, it means something. So, maybe that's the way to do it. But Dale, what do you think about what Frost and I are saying when it comes to, I know a lot of people didn't like that baseball determining the World Series, but are you glad? I think we've even had this conversation in the past. You don't like it. I can see that. Are you glad they got rid of it? Okay.
They had to do something when they had that tie game in Milwaukee for the what am I trying to say? They had to do something with the tie game in Milwaukee in the All-Star game to make it, and that was their way to get around it. But could you imagine if the Dodgers get to the World Series this year, but the American League wins the All-Star game, and somehow the 86-win Seattle Mariners, that are the last team that gets in, gets to host Game 7 against the Dodgers that have 18 more wins against them? Like, I understand why they're trying to make it worth something, and I get it, but, like, that scenario just plays out in my head so bad.
How long was it that way? So they and to add on to that, they brought that in because of a tie All-Star game?
Yeah, there was a Bud's because Bud Selig's owned Milwaukee too, which was even better. So there was a
fuck Bud Selig, dude.
Yes, fuck Bud Selig. But yeah, there was a tie game because both teams ran out of pitchers, and they put the only relievers that were left through 2 innings, and they're like, we can't throw them out for a 3rd inning. So Joe Girardi was still managing the Yankees. I remember that. It was him and whoever the National League, and they went over to Bud Selig at the 3rd baseline. Like, God, like we're not putting anybody else back out there, and we're not rewarming anybody up. And it's like, all right, fans, 6-6 game. What a great time. Goodbye. And then that's how the home field advantage started. And I can't, 5-6 years, like, it never got to that one where it was like, oh, somebody has 12 more less wins in the World Series but gets to host it, so they got lucky. But
so, but then again, like, so maybe it naturally doesn't even happen that often. So maybe it's just one of those things that, like, it seems like it worked out majority of the time, and then it just, because how often does a bottom feeder ass team like that really do that in baseball? It's not
you're
often.
Right too. So, like, I guess the argument against it is, like, you do it, but I would say I don't need to see a Miami Marlin ref or a Chicago White Sox on the team. If you're gonna do it, you're picking your 30-man roster and you're setting up the game to win the game. And I'm sorry if you are if you're a pit, like, I love the Pittsburgh Pirates. They are my lovable loser team because I fucking don't know why. But do I really need to see the corpse of Andrew McCutchen be on the All-Star team because we have to have a Pittsburgh Pirate? Do I need to see Paul DeJong for the White Sox this year be on the All-Star game?
Or newly acquired minor league Chicago White Sox Joey Gallo, which is hilarious.
I didn't hear that. Oh, fuck, that's such a White Sox move.
Joey Gallo signed with the fucking White Sox minor league team.
We're going to talk baseball a lot at some point in time, but what do you think the over-under is for the White Sox win total this year?
41.
Not quite. Front office?
I'm going to say 55.
48.
Wow. Dude, that's such trash.
And me and Nelson are having the argument. I'm like, how do you not take the under? He's like, Dale.
What a piece of shit poverty ass franchise, dude.
They lost 121 games
Field of Dreams game. Bring 2 legends back. Have them each draft to manage a team. Done. Yeah, but then they just did that. The Field of Dream game was sick.
Oh, that's not the worst idea. Like if you're gonna make it into
Spectacle.
a spectacle, a character of itself, that's not the worst idea. Like it's gonna get old after 2 years.
They already do the game though, right? They already do the Field of Dreams game.
But that's not the worst. It's gonna come down to money. That's why it will never happen. But I actually don't mind
You want us to have an all-star game and only have 2,000 people here? I don't think so.
And and doing home run derbies into the corn, like man, that's gonna be a fucking.
There's like 150 to 147 finish. Somebody just goes up there and Juan Soto just hits 57 straight home runs out of the cornfield.
But the very first Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner walking out in the pageantry.
God, that'd be fucking beautiful. But yeah, I definitely think that would be cool. But I think that so you don't so you definitely don't. So it was 5 or 6 years for the World Series thing. You definitely didn't like it. Front office, you wouldn't be. Would you rather do that, or would you? I mean, I guess that for you and I guess are just like last case scenario, right? Like if we really have to make this, or do you think that you would? Like that, you would be okay with them going back for that? Like you really wouldn't mind them going back to that?
I'm gonna say like maybe not utter last case, but like let's try something else first. You know what I'm saying? Like let's not jump.
So you
right
would be okay
that.
if they tried the international shit first, like if they
absolutely. I think that's one, and I'm sure that there's some other things that people can think of that would also be good. There are options there.
Yeah, I mean, it only takes one basketball game of international play where like Wemby and the boys bust US's ass on TV, and it's like that's that. I mean, the United States, like they definitely are all about them being number one in basketball, and I think if they lost,
think about a starting lineup of Wemby, Jokic, SGA, Luka, insert fifth European dude.
I mean, and you saw Wemby was there, like he literally said, "I'm not here to make friends over the weekend." And like after they lost last night, he was pissed. Like he visibly looked like I'm the only one out here. Like I can't believe these other pieces of shit are out here just phoning this in.
The fifth guy's Giannis, by the way.
Giannis,
that's your starting 5.
Yeah, good luck.
Just about guarantee if it's healthy, that's your starting 5.
Good luck. And you don't get and KD, LeBron, Steph, they're only going to save you for like the next couple years. Like you get those guys out of the way. Like who are you? Honestly, like 5 years from now, who are like the great American players? I mean, there are going to be a few. Don't get me wrong. There are always going to be some. They're always going to be, but we are really in like just a golden age of European basketball players coming over here. I mean, the bypass, what'd you say?
I said 100%. I mean, they are increasingly becoming some of the best players that we've seen in the league, and that's just special. You know what I'm saying? Basketball is a worldwide game, which is cool.
That. Yeah, I mean, it is so fucking cool, and it's cool that like you're seeing guys like it's cool that like out of all the sports too, because I know basketball is kind of dying. People talk about that, but I do love that the opportunities to get to the league nowadays, like. You didn't go to you didn't have to, maybe you don't go through the college way. Maybe you go through the G League. Maybe you go, you skip college and you go over to Europe and you play ball for a couple of years. I mean, you see those guys at 16 years old, 17 years old playing against, grown men in sold out arenas with fire shooting out of the side of the fucking arenas. I mean, like a Europe basketball game is like 50 times more intense than the United States, a basketball game. And it's like you go over there and play against those guys for 2, 3, 4 years and then come over and play NBA. I mean, you're like way more ready than you were if you went to fucking Duke for 2, I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I love that.
1,000% agree.
So I think you're right, dude. I think you put that starting five that you just named. You throw them boys out there against the United States, and they're gonna win a game. I mean, like they're gonna maybe not every time, but there's gonna be that's a good they play best of 5. They're gonna be back and forth. But in 5 years, I think that might be a different story. Even less, I think that European team or that league world team might be fucking gross. And like I said, it's a competitive thing. Let the United States kind of lollygag into one of those games, get their ass busted once, and it's not going to be that way the second time. It's going to be let's fucking go. And that's all it is. It's just how do you get. And that's what the NHL did. The NHL said, oh, you guys want to skate around and do figure eights around each other and score fucking 30 goals in an NHL game? Okay, well, you're just going to play the best that Canada has in Montreal. Oh, okay. That's a war zone. Okay.
Better show up, motherfucker.
Yeah, try not. And like I was just telling Dale, now, Canadians, you don't want to try? Well, now you've lost to the United States, and now you have to go play in Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We talked about this at the beginning. Front office wasn't here for this. You might get booed in Montreal. You might get harassed. But it's all confined. You go to Boston. It's fair game. Everything. It's the biggest heap of shit place, and they're going to be so disrespectful that like this isn't like, oh, we're just here playing around. No, this is fucking, we're rowdy Americans from Boston, and we would saw the border and push you motherfuckers off if we could.
Can I ask a fast question? What place would be a more shithole, to Canadians, like Boston or Philly? What place would be worse to go to if you're a Canadian?
I would say
team?
Philly place, Boston people, but it's close.
I figured it's really close. I'd lean Boston because I think Philly, they just buy into what they are. So they're going to be belligerent, where Boston people just, fuck you.
They are just what they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Front office, what do you think about that? Boston, Philly. You had to be a Canadian, and you had to walk into one for an international hockey game.
For hockey, I'm going to say Boston's worse. BU is a hockey school, and Philly is its own animal. Don't get me wrong. Philly's too. And this is because it's hockey. If this was football, fuck Boston.
Yeah,
fuck Boston, straight up.
Sure.
But you know what I mean. This is hockey. Boston is a hockey city. There's no doubt that one would be worse, in my opinion.
Dude, fuck Boston, dude. What a shit place. When I heard that that's where they were playing the finals game, I'm like, wait, you let this war brew in Montreal, and then you said, after all of this is over, we're going to take you back across the border to the TD Gardens, and that's where you guys are going to play the final. I mean, come on. That's brutal.
Oh, it's gonna be a fun Thursday night. I really hope it works out because we'll have a blast.
Yeah, I hope they do that. So obviously we're about to wrap shit up here. But baseball, if you had to do baseball, so obviously obviously international works for us. Is baseball, would that be the same thing? Would you like to see an international, maybe MLB versus World, or you could probably do a 4 nations in baseball. Like you could do a country. Japan, Dominican.
That's why I wish the World Baseball Classic could be done in the middle, and I'm not gonna.
I love the World Baseball Classic is so fun.
Because we know that I get up at stupid out like I'm not getting up at 4 a.m. to watch Dodgers and the Cubs in South Korea. No. Yes. Did I get up at 5 a.m. or wake up if I had to be at work at 8? Would I get up at 5 a.m. to watch Australia and Japan? Yeah. I'm a sick fuck that way.
Dude, I'm with you. I love that shit. Imagine that. Yeah, fuck American whatever. I mean, I guess then that throws the whole World Series thing out the window. But if you were just like, all right, look, we're going to put Americans versus, so if you had to pick 4 nations, would it be Mexico, Japan, Dominican, United States? Would that be the 4?
Yeah.
It's his own time. Yeah.
You could probably replace Mexico, maybe put like Cuba or somebody in there.
Dominican Republic, or
you could Puerto Rico.
Yeah, so Dominican,
Oh,
United States.
DR. Okay, that's in there.
Yeah, so DR, United States, Japan. Those are 3 for sure.
And then pick a fourth.
And then you pick a fourth one. Yeah, I mean, like you said, it could be Puerto Rico, it could be Mexico, because I know Mexico does do pretty well in those. I mean, that would be fucking cool as shit.
I remember the World Baseball Classic where the bench is empty and Japan and Mexico had a throwdown in Arizona.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Dude.
I remember. I was hyped for that.
Bro, you bring country into it, and I just don't. Even if, like, you said, like, to the NBA guys, like, this is what we're going to do from now on, they might act like they might act like they don't care, and they might even roll in with that attitude. One loss, one close loss, one close game, that changes. You bring nations into this, it's fucking on. And that may be it. Maybe that's the way. Maybe either we get rid of all-star games or we make them all international contests. Just make it what gets the United States more riled up than war? Nothing. So just make everything war.
History lesson. Canada did burn down the White House once upon a time.
Oh, yeah?
That's true.
That is factual. That's
in
not
Philly?
Shit. Well, Philly?
Well, the capital used to be in Philly.
No, I think it was in Washington. I don't know the whole, but it's
so it was in the D.C. capital?
But this is like in like the 1800s.
You guys are fucking terrorists. I knew it.
Hey, you know what? We're going to teach you to cross-check properly. And we're going
Dude,
out
well, you might need to watch our tapes. We're check the record books, baby. We're on that ass. And Thursday, I cannot wait for this game on Thursday. We're going to teach Canada a little something. They're going to learn about Boston, dude. It's going to be a good game.
Can't wait to get booed. Can't wait for the Canadian national anthem. Them get booed.
Oh, yeah. Have you watched any of this front office? Have you watched any of the Four Nations so far?
Straight up, I haven't. But after seeing your guys' coverage on like social media and stuff over the weekend, I'm going to tune in for this one.
Dude, Saturday's game, like, it's not going to be as good of a game. Like, again, we talk about that. You're gonna see a little less excitement because, like, you're not going to see 3 guys drop the gloves the moment. I mean, 20 seconds into that game, there was 3 fights.
Yeah.
And it was just both Kachuk boys. Do you know how sick that is that 20 years ago, Keith Kachuk fought Claude Lemieux in a USA-Canada game, and then you fast forward 15, 20 years later, and both of his children are playing on Team USA at the same time, and they both dropped the gloves one after another in the first USA-Canada game off the fucking jump. That is historic.
You can even back it up more because the Canadian national anthem, the announcer's like, oh, by the way, I'm just going to sing the first line, and then the crowd's going to sing it. And, like, I don't know French. I know that part of the Canadian national anthem in French.
Bro, that place was going.
Oh,
they literally said before the game, please don't boo either national anthem. And then the moment they started the United States national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, it was just raining down boos. It was so, I mean, you got the all that shit that's going on between us right now. And you've got, and then like the Kachucks you don't get more redneck than the Kachucks. And they're like, yeah, they asked him, like, well, how'd you feel about them booing the national anthem? He goes, I didn't like it. That's all he said. I didn't like it. And you knew they were pissed. 1 second into the game, 2 fights. 5 seconds later, very first shot on Canada's goal, another fight. It was like, it was everything you could ask for.
It was like the right, because front office wasn't here. It was the right amount of old time fucking hockey. And then we got to see the best time. We got the tomfoolery out in the first 15 seconds, and then we got to see world class hockey. It was like the perfect, like, you know. And the villain got to win in Canada, and now we get to go back and have the chance to repay. Like, this shit writes itself.
Dude, my balls are swelling right now as you're talking. Like, I am so excited for this game.
Because I'm going to pull out a wrestling reference here. Who do you think got booed more, the States during the national anthem or Roman Reigns walking out 3 years ago when Sami Zayn was...
Dude, probably the hockey. I don't know.
That's close. It's a lot
or
closer
Shawn,
than
like I said,
too.
or Shawn Michaels anytime he fucking walks into there.
Shawn Michaels doesn't really like going to Montreal anymore.
Canada, United States it's brutal. And like if you guys are not watching on Thursday, you guys are like you said, you're making a mistake. I think if you're sports fans, you will not be disappointed, even if you don't. I mean, I had Shan, like, she doesn't not like hockey. She watches hockey with me sometimes, but she was watching it. I mean, everybody is like, you will be tuning in especially if you sit down 20 minutes for the game and you watch all that shit that they're going to be playing leading up to the game. By the time that puck drops on Thursday, you will be ready to fucking go.
Front office will be ready to chuck the Nucks with me after that, and we will hate each other for 3 hours.
Dude, it's a war zone, baby. It's a war zone.
Great. It's going to be
Let's go,
great.
boys.
Well, guys, I hope you guys had a fucking good weekend. Like I said, we're gonna wrap shit up here. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope you guys are like the front office and you guys didn't watch any All-Star weekend shit because you probably had a better, or Dale didn't watch it. Well, actually, Dale watched less than him. So hopefully you guys are like them and you had good weekends. I for some reason, I had a good weekend, but anytime I was home, I tuned in and I'm like, why am I doing this? So it was just an awful fucking time. So hopefully you guys had a better weekend. If you guys are getting the bad weather coming up, make sure you guys stay safe during that. And if you guys are in the Midwest, I know we're getting and if you're in where Dale's at, it's fucking stupid.
It's supposed to get into the minus 40s tomorrow night. It's going to be fucking dangerous.
Damn.
Cold. So anybody out there, doesn't matter if you're in the Midwest or not, when it gets below 0 Fahrenheit, it's fucking dangerously cold. So everybody, please be safe.
Tukes and bunny hugs, dude. Don't forget them.
Bunny hugs.
Don't forget them, baby. Make sure you guys bundle up. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Like I said, my birthday is Wednesday, so I am going to dinner for my birthday. We are going. Shan asked if I was going to stream. I do think I'm going to try to stream. We didn't stream Friday, so I don't want to miss another Wednesday. Maybe we don't do it Wednesday and we just do the Thursday for the game. But I don't know. But
whatever works for you, birthday boys.
But I do
boys
think it maybe
with
after
the front
dinner if I.
office too.
Yeah, well, and I think if maybe after dinner I might come by and maybe we'll just do like an hour. We'll just do, I do want to I do think we are going to go live on Wednesday. So I'll let you guys know for sure. But make sure you guys hit that button. Follow us on all of our shit. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that notification button, hit the notify button, man. So you guys, when we go live, you get the notification. Sweden is up 2-1 right now in the third period on the United States, which again doesn't matter. Finals are already set in stone. So I'm gonna get off. We'll see how this ends. We'll see how this game plays off. Sweden just went on the power play. But you guys have a good rest of your week.
Happy birthday, boys, to both of you.
I was just gonna say, have a good rest of your fucking. I was gonna say good rest of your week. I was saying good rest of your Monday, and fucking 3 hours from now, happy fucking 31st birthday to the sweetest little boy. 1 year and 1 day, dude.
Listen,
31.
every path around the sun feels that much more special.
God.
31 feels like it was almost 10 years ago. Fuck.
32 for me, dude. I'm really getting old.
That's it. Anything after 30, it's downhill.
Old saggy balls, St. Louis, and somewhere in the Midwest-ish South area. God, you guys.
Doctors are going to be trying to play with my asshole soon.
Yeah, that's got to come sooner than later. God,
and I'm going to clinch. I'm going to say no. I'd rather have prostate cancer. All right, guys. Well, let's say we'll see you on Wednesday. Make sure you guys hit that QR codes. Follow us on all of our shits. Share our clips. We got plenty of clips coming out. Make sure you guys go to our sports betting page, man. On Action, we haven't had a new follower in months, but we're picking back up. Steam's gaining. We 3-0 day yesterday. 3-0 fucking day yesterday. 0-1 so far today, but the other two are looking good. Whenever I hit these prop bets, I'll start. I get on a thing. I'll start putting those back out there, but I took those offline because we're not doing too good. So. All right, guys.
Back down,
yeah,
baby.
No, it's not good. So I guess it's fucking terrible. When it comes to higher or lower, I was telling Dale, I'll pick a guy that averages 6 assists to get 3 assists, and he'll get 1. So it doesn't even make sense. So, Missouri, real sports betting is on its way, and we can get done with this dumb shit. So, all right, guys, we'll see you guys on Wednesday. You guys have a good rest of your night. Peace.
Trucking intellect, got change in my pocket, $1.50 at best. Let it go.